Hello, I've been receiving some questions about Webex meetings and screen sharing, so I'm going to go through some of the features that you can do with this. So we're going to come down here, and this is your screen sharing button right here. So let's talk through this just a bit. So the first option that you have is to share your entire screen. You'll notice that there's a green outline going around my screen right now. That means that anything that I can see, anyone else in the meeting can see. So let's go ahead and click on that first. And I'll show you some of the options. Now you'll notice this orange tab up at the top. If you hover over that, it'll open up and give you some other options. So here is your chat. If you want to keep tabs on that while you're sharing your screen, there's an annotate as well. So you can come down here and draw on your screen, that sort of thing. And then, of course, you have your mute and video and recording, all of that. Now, if you look at this, you can share a couple of different things from here, and then this is how you stop sharing. So let's go ahead and stop sharing, and I'll show you some other options that are pretty cool. So this is your entire screen. Once again, these are individual applications that you happen to have open right now. So if I had my web browser open at the moment, it would show up here as well. So if I come down here, you can see that we have a whiteboard. We have an option to share an iPhone or iPad screen. I wouldn't worry about this yet because you need a converter to be able to plug in your phone to your computer, but we can go ahead and share the whiteboard. I'll just click on that and then draw something. On your students' screens, when you're sharing this, they'll be able to see this little box, and so if they were to come over here and click on annotation, they would be able to take over the screen. Now they do have to have your permission to do that, so don't worry about them hijacking a lesson, but I guess it is something to watch for. Let's go ahead and stop sharing this, and I'll show you something else that you can share. So you may have noticed that there's a share file option right here. So I'm gonna come in here and find the first Word document that I can. Just click on that, click open. So this usually takes a second to open up just because the computer's working really hard to do this. And so while it's doing this, I'm gonna come over here and point out that this same little box is over here. And your students will be able to actually draw on this document. So if you wanted to have, say, a math lesson with a math problem up, they could actually take over and try and work it out. It is a little bit awkward drawing with a touchpad on a computer, but it's not the end of the world either. If it is a multi-page document, you'll be able to flip between pages right here, as well as zoom in and out on the page. Looks like it's loading finally. I'm gonna go ahead and click the annotate feature, and this would be really good for if you were doing something like segmenting and blending, so you could come in here and like, hey, this is how we segment a word and then we blend it back together, things like that. You could use it for citing text evidence, that sort of thing. You could also let the student take over and work out a math problem, something like that. So these are all just nice options. Now, one of the really good things about this is if you flip to the next page, it starts over blank. And so what you could do is have a couple different pages for kids to flip through. This will also work with PowerPoints and really any type of file, just so you know. Also note that when you flip back to a page that you have marked up, it actually saves that, and so you can see all of that later.